thank you very much for having us. Thank you very much for having me here on stage. I can clearly assure you that Informatica is very committed to this market. One of the proofs for that statement is that we have changed the way how Informatica EMEA Latin America is organized. We've done this change in January 2022, so just this year. And we have now separated EMEA Latin America into 3 strategic sections. We have Europe, which is, I consider this, I'm European, old world. So pretty boring, established, premature. Then we have Latin America, which nobody here in this room really cares about. And then we have the 3rd section, which is emerging markets. So my name is Frank Hendricks, and I'm running the channel, which is not only channel, but also the strategic alliances, the very strong team for the emerging markets. This means we are talking about Middle East and Egypt, about Africa, and about Central Eastern Europe, including Turkey and Israel. In this market, we have our regional sales director, Piotr. You just heard him. I don't know what he said. And, you know, the person in charge is in the corner. She just came very late, Kasia Kunach, in charge of the sales for this region. So she works literally exclusively with Pavel and his team from Integral Solutions, which is our distributor. We have also our segment leaders for master data management today here on stage, for our cloud journeys here on stage. We have a big thank you to the marketing team, not only from Integral Solutions, but also from Informatica, Robert, on the other side of the corner. Because believe me, we have done our Informatica World Tour in Dubai just mid of October. And if I'm looking at this event right now, it's awesome. I'm excited to be here because I think, you know, the setup is perfect, and I'm extremely impressed that you guys actually started on time. If I'm looking at the Dubai habit with all the Arabic culture, you know, Saudis coming late, locals from the UAE coming late, there is no way that you can start on time. So from that point of view, really, I'm impressed. Thank you very much. So now, what we see right now as Informatica is the fact that nobody, our customers in the current environment where we're talking about a couple of threats: change in economics, energy crisis, inflation, a very big hit from a forex standpoint. Nobody of our customers is anymore at this point in time interested in digital modernization. If we are not talking about mission critical transformation projects, it is very difficult to get the attention of the customers, because we are no longer talking technology. If you want to actually convince you as a customer, if we want to convince you as a customer in this alliance with Integral Solutions, we need to understand your mission critical pain points in order to help you as customers to no longer modernize, but to really transform your business so that you gain competitive advantages over your peers in the various markets. I think this is a very, very important message. And if I'm looking at that, this transformation is having an impact from a business standpoint, from a technology standpoint, but also from a people standpoint. And what we have seen that in the past, in this market, Informatica maybe could have done a bit of a better job in supporting Integral Solutions by leveraging our relationship with global partners from an advisory standpoint. And that is why I'm so proud and so glad to see that we have advisory firms like Accenture, like Deloitte, like KPMG, not only working with us in this market, but even presenting today. It also shows that we are now talking to Snowflake in this market, talking intensively to GCP, so Google Cloud, but also absolutely to Microsoft, which is one of our top global ecosystem partners globally. So that is a transformation Informatica and Integral Solutions have experienced since the beginning of this year. And there's a strong commitment from our sales organization working with our exclusive distributor in this market. And we've seen already a change in visibility by working with consultants, supporting our implementations, by working with the hyperscalers. Massive, massive change. And if I'm looking at, for example, on the people aspect, when we say transformation, I'm not sure how many CDOs we have in this room. But if you look at the terminology, the skills, which are brand new in this market, maybe 3-4 years ago, the term CDO wasn't existing. Nobody spoke about that. Data scientists, data analysts, terms like data democratization haven't made any sense because we haven't had data with quality to distribute to the end users. We talked about analytics without understanding what the sources are, and how to ensure that there's quality actually available to the end users. If you look at the technology part, we just had a meeting, an event in Dubai with KPMG, Snowflake, and Microsoft and Informatica with a large customer conglomerate. And they positioned AI, an AI vendor, part of that group. And at the end I said, listen, it's nice talking AI, but AI needs data and data need AI. You can't look at AI in isolation. If you want to start any kind of journey by just talking AI, you will fail. Because you don't know where the data are coming from, you don't know how the data are treated from a quality standpoint, you don't have trust in your data, and if you put garbage in, you will get garbage out. That's the same, and I started my IT career a bit later than Piotr, but I was running CRM solutions. And it was the same. Customer relationship management, at that point in time, we called it Salesforce or sales support systems. Garbage in, garbage out. Same is true for data. So what we are now realizing is, if you look at innovation, where is innovation? If you are as a customer, if you as an entity, as a company, looking to transform and to gain competitive advantage over your peers, you have only one area to look for innovative solutions, and that is in the cloud. There is no innovative solution out there which is still on-premise. This is in the past. The innovative solutions are only in the cloud. But if you look at this kind of, let's say, map of innovative solutions, you realize, for example, you have an HR component, you have some support components, you have data warehouse, data lakes in the cloud, you have some, some sales support, expense support, security support solutions. Without realizing, you're already in a multi-cloud environment. And the other kind of observation is, you are departmentalized. So now, the real transformation, the benefit by using an enterprise data management solution is to have a cross-company integrated data approach. Because only then, and this is, I think, the other transformation where partners like our GSIs can help you, working together with Integral Solutions, to understand what it means, what a journey is when you want to treat data as an asset. Now, coming from Dubai, I'm living in Dubai since now 13 years. There is this funny saying, data is the new oil. Now, looking backwards, I spent years, 4 or 5 years in Nigeria. Nigeria is a very, very rich oil country, or oil-rich country, but they have no single refinery capacity in Nigeria. What they do, they have oil, but if they want to refine, so get quality out of oil, they have to send it over to Iran, buy it back as petrol. That then causes the problem that even though they have oil, you had at a certain point in time, 3-4 years ago, queues where drivers had to stay 4 days at the petrol station in order to get their car filled with petrol. Shortage, supply chain. And it shows it's a similarity, it's an analogy to data. If you have data, and we all have data, the amount of data is growing like, out of control. Now the question is, how get you back into control when it comes to data as an asset? And with the amount of growing of data, you have no other choice but to rely on certain AI, machine learning, intelligence in order to get your grasp, get your control back around the data. And this is here, I think, the area which actually now relates to the Informatica transformation. If you look at Informatica, I don't even know what the next slide is. Yeah, there's a couple of questions. Let me step to the side and you can read them. All those questions are relevant to business. But if you look at Informatica, we also went through the transformation, right? We've been a Wall Street listed company 6-7 years ago. We pulled out because we realized that the market, the Wall Street, doesn't care anymore about perpetual licenses. This is old world. The market only values, and that was the first step of the transformation, subscription, annual recurrent value, volume. So we've done that, and we decided to go back on Wall Street in October 26, 2021. So it's about now 1 year that we are back on the Wall Street as a listed company. And we've done well, but we only could do well because we have finalized our transformation internally. We are now a fully cloud-ready, cloud-native enterprise data management platform. And I will even go one step further and show you competitive solutions, proving to you the amount of trust and confidence we have. And this is why we are so high on the radar of our partners when we're talking about the hyperscalers like Microsoft or GCP. Just to give you an idea, Informatica is one of the top 10 global GISVs, so global ISVs, when it comes to data consumption on the Azure data platform, so cloud infrastructure. So we are not a super large company like SAP or Oracle or IBM, but we are in the top 10 for Microsoft globally when it comes to consuming data on their platform. And now the next part of the transformation is that we said, okay, in certain markets, we already stopped even offering any on-premise solutions. We are now fully cloud and cloud only. There will be some exceptions where we are still living in a hybrid environment where we have cloud solutions as well as on-premise solutions. But to give you a kind of idea moving forward, we will talk cloud. And this is why I'm so excited to see how our exclusive distributor in this market actually embraces that change. And I've been here now 3 times in this year, and I'm pretty sure that next year, and I won't come again in January or February because it's just too cold, but that I will triple or quadruple the amount of time we will spend here as a team. As a team, I'm meaning, Kasia based being here, Piotr being based here, Robert being based here, our segment leaders, happy to travel whenever we need. But we also now started agreeing that we need to support Integral better and our GSIs and our hyperscalers better in this market by leveraging the fact that even Informatica is locally, physically present in Poland. So we have a team of Informatica professional service skills or resources based in Krakow, and they are not, and we will never allow that, compete with Integral, but we also realize that they are, because of the $250 million Informatica is investing into R&D every year, we are constantly evolving and improving our platform approach. And that we need to have, in certain situations, in certain cases, additional resources available to ensure a proper, smooth deployment of mission-critical enterprise data management projects. And that's really a commitment from our side. So data, we spoke about data fragmentation, data types, data users. I mean, this area is no longer just theoretical. It's out there, right? I came off a call 2 days ago with a central bank of one of the central banks in the Middle East. And they said, guys, we can't give full access as part of the data democratization to every user in our organization. It is too confidential. We need to treat this from a data quality standpoint, but we also need to make sure that we protect from a data security standpoint the information which we can't share at full with our end users. So we need to differentiate. So that shows you that if you treat assets, it's not just implementing EDC, Axon, IDMC, so our cloud solution, it's more. Now the beauty is that with our solution, with the approach from, call it, data management, we have something which I think is a fair statement. This is why Gartner ranks us so highly in this market space. We have a data platform approach, and I'll come to that in a second. Now, if you look at a data journey, we start from, cataloging data, ingestion, integration, cleansing, relation, governance, protection, preparation, and master data management. Now, none of those vendors is bad, but the fact is that none of this vendor has the ability to cover the entire journey from a data management requirement standpoint. These are niche solutions. And if you look at how Informatica deals with this, if you don't want to keep your data in certain areas still in a silo, if you want to ensure that there is trust in the data, you actually have an advantage of one vendor, which is highly regarded in this market space from an end-to-end coverage standpoint. And the beauty here is that we don't tell you where to start. We have customers who say, we want to start, we don't know, we don't have a catalog of the catalog. Yes, there is an ERP system like SAP, they have a data catalog. But we have so many other solutions we need to manage. We don't have this overview about our full cataloging requirements. We have customers that say, our first and foremost, most transformational, important, mission critical project is MDM. Usually there, we should brace ourselves. It's the same like you want to do advanced analytics, but you don't know where your data are. Isn't that a bit of wishful thinking? So first, understand where your data sources are, understand how to improve your data quality, understand how to secure the data as part of the deployment into the different users, and then talk about how to get a 360 overview. Now, I will not talk about MDM because we have really a segment leader who really understands that stuff much better than I do. But that is really the key differentiator from Informatica. So in other words, we have a full platform approach, integrated, fully available in the cloud, AI supported, and with a myriad of connectivity into the various systems, on-premise and in the cloud. And that then leads to literally this kind of, a picture where you connect into the different data sources with existing and standardized connectivity managed by AI, and then you decide where to start from a data journey standpoint, feeding the different users. That is the philosophy of Informatica. But I will not go into more technology because it's really not my strength. Now, one area which is again very interesting to see, as we stopped proposing or providing any perpetual licenses and moving fully into cloud, we are now talking about IPUs, so Informatica processing units, a different way, a different flexibility, which is really appreciated by our customers, because it gives you as a customer flexibility. You decide, if you have a certain amount of IPUs available to yourself, how to spend, how to deploy. You start with cataloging and data lineage. That requires workload in the beginning of a project. As soon as you need to reduce, as soon as you can reduce the amount of users and cores you're running those solutions on, you move them into the data quality part. And it allows you to really deploy and to decide how to smooth, develop and run such a transformational project. And we've seen that it's very interesting. Some customers, they understand it already by heart, because they are not only talking to Informatica, they have advisory from Deloitte or from KPMG or from Accenture. I'm not mentioning PwC because I cannot really talk about PwC because we are, PwC is our auditor, so I'm a bit stepping back, but that's why I'm so happy to have, Integral here, where I have no mercy and no issue if Integral is talking and really embracing PwC. It's just, to mention this from a flexibility standpoint. And I see that there are customers out there in Poland, in Central Eastern Europe, where Kasia at the moment really starts enjoying, and Larom, who is our technical expert supporting Integral and other partners in Central Eastern Europe, see that the customers appreciate and understand what the advantages are when it comes to Informatica processing units. So now we're almost at the end. 41 trillion cloud transactions per month. Informatica, we are clearly not, again, not an Oracle, not an IBM, not a Microsoft, not a GCP, from a size, from a volume standpoint. But we are able to transact and scale with our solution. This number, when I joined 3.5 years ago, was at 15 million. This number literally doubles every 12 months. And it's funny, I just had to update this myself because our corporate presentation still says, as per September, 38 trillion. So that is a proof how fast, the volume of data Informatica is processing in the public cloud is growing month by month. And that shows you that if we don't talk to our friends at Microsoft sales might just say, yeah, but we have also a kind of, data governance solution or data integration solution. But if you talk to Microsoft in the right way, they also understand that Informatica, and this is why Informatica is the global partner of Microsoft when it comes to data quality and data integration, that we have a scalable solution. So in other words, there is no overlap, no competition whatsoever, but it requires conversations, and that's what we have transformed into now in this year. And I'm super positive to see how Google, how Microsoft are embracing us with this powerful solution in this market. Now, you can't read that, but I assure you, every point is Informatica when it comes to the leadership position from Gartner. We are the only vendor who is in all 4 data relevant magic quadrants from Gartner in the leading spot, from a vision, but also from the ability to execute. And this is something which makes me personally very, very proud. If you look at data quality here, the next one is supposed to be IBM, but you can't read it either, it's good. 15 years in a row, 15 years. Informatica is having the leadership position in this data quality solution environment. Now, if you look at the data integration tools, same, 7 years since Gartner invented or came up with this new quadrant, which was iPaaS, right? So the integration platform as a service approach. When they took out the ESB quadrant, so the enterprise service bus, and I'm an ex-IBMer, so I know what I'm talking about. IBM was always very proud about Microsoft message, IBM message broker, an ESB, legacy, locking you in, no flexibility moving forward. They completely erased this as Gartner, and they came up with the IPS. You look at master data management, that is an area I will now stop because we have a very, very detailed and very interesting forward-looking presentation coming up soon. But that should give you some confidence. If I'm looking at this, just in November, on November 4th, we've been again announced the 15th times as the leader in data quality. I think that's an achievement. And that also shows you that we are not stopping investing and improving our solution. Over 5,000 customers globally, but who cares about global? We have about 550 customers in Middle East and Africa, and maybe it's fair to say in Central Eastern Europe, another 200 customers. So, and Integral Solutions is with us since quite a time. But that again, and that's for me interesting, that's maybe another message. I believe there are not many companies out there who have been a market leader in the old world, perpetual licenses, ETL, but in which we are still, but at the same time, in the same cycle, are still now market leader in the new world when it comes to cloud integration. And this is where Informatica managed the transformation. And this is where I'm very positive, I'm very proud and very committed to Integral Solutions because they also did this transformation with us. Now, maybe a bit slower, but rest assured, the speed I've seen in 2022 is for me impressive. I really like it. And you know, you've seen it's like cross industries, so it doesn't matter. Loyalty is something I will not go into details because I don't really care what it says about TSA and TSIA. The main message is on the cloud deployment, we are providing to our customers client success managers, because one thing is very interesting. It's no longer a cowboy hit and run sales style. It's no longer how previous vendors threw customers under the bus with compliance transactions or sold perpetual licenses and been running as far as they could. We are now talking about cloud, which means the customer has the power and the authority to switch off the software any day, anytime. I just came off a call with one of the top 10 global sovereign funds in the Middle East, global top 10. And I said, guys, if you don't fix ABC, we pull the plug on November 11th. That's not an empty threat. They can. They just have to pull the plug. So for Informatica, it's very important that we are really recognized as a trustworthy vendor when it comes to loyalty. Our renewal rate, even in the cloud, is close to 99%. So we really focus on that aspect and we support our customers with this kind of client success managers and client technical success managers working hand in hand with the customer and our partner. And that's my last slide. If you look at this, we have global relationships with those GSIs. However, in this market, I think it's fair to say that the relationship is very well and very good and trustworthy established with KPMG, with Deloitte, with Accenture. And again, you don't see PwC here for a reason, but that doesn't mean that you should not work with PwC. I will always say, Pavel, don't bother me with that because I can't. That would be a kind of, potential audit breach. But you also see here on the hyperscalers and global technology ecosystem partners, we just announced with Snowflake 3 months ago, a mass data loader, mass data ingestion solution. So we are working with Snowflake on the development side. But just, I think the day before yesterday, we announced an even closer relationship when it comes to data quality, data governance, when they embrace our solution. If I'm looking at, Databricks, another kind of alternative to cloud data warehouse, cloud data lakes, I spoke about, thank you, AWS, Salesforce, Microsoft. And for this market, we are working with integral solutions. So from my side, thank you very much indeed. Not a single minute too much, right? So thank you very much. This time clock is really helping. Thank you. Any questions? Good. It was too much marketing. Now we come to more details and then hopefully you have some questions to make it a bit interactive. Thank you very much.